The first fireworks produced by a Canadian professional in 2016 occurred on the second Sunday in April. No, they didn't take place at Augusta National, but the emotion that poured out of Brad Fritsch when he won on the Web.com Tour in Colombia were as heartfelt as any golfer showed anywhere all year. In tough conditions, he bested hotshot rookie Ollie Schneiderjans in a playoff for his first trip to the Web.com winner's circle. The veteran from Manotick, Ontario then finished second in his next start, meaning 6 weeks into his season, he'd secured a PGA Tour promotion for next year.
I mean, we've worked so hard, me and my coach, Patrick. We just work really hard, and I believe in him. And I won. I can't believe it.
Next up on the highlight reel was Brooke Henderson. The Smiths Falls, Ontario teenager made history in early June when she became the first Canadian to win a major since Mike Weir in 2003 and the first Canadian woman to do so since Sandra Post in 1968. In dramatic fashion, Henderson beat world number 1 Lydia Ko in a playoff at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship near Seattle, thanks to a pair of masterful strikes on the first extra hole that set up a birdie. The teenage sensation was heavily celebrated in this country and beyond, but she didn't rest on her laurels, as 3 weeks later she successfully defended her Portland Classic title from a year ago. On the PGA Tour, it was steady as she goes for sophomore Adam Hadwin, who ultimately cracked the weekend in 20 of his 27 starts thanks to vastly improved putting. Hadwin was passed for top PGA Tour Canadian down the stretch by a red-hot David Hearn, who advanced to the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. On the flip side, 2016 was a trying year for Graham Dillette, who battled injuries and some short-game anxiety to barely finish inside the cutoff number to retain his full status. Nobody from that trio had an RBC Canadian Open quite like amateur Jared Dutoit, though. From Kimberley, BC by way of Calgary, Dutoit became the talk of the country in late July when he held the lead on the weekend at his first PGA Tour event and ultimately arrived on the first tee on Sunday, one shot back of Brandt Snedeker and in the final pairing. Dutoit couldn't quite keep the mojo going in the final round, but his tie for 9th was nonetheless a spectacular Cinderella story.
Honestly, I had no expectations coming into this week. I thought maybe if I play well, I'll make the cut. I honestly didn't know. So to come out this week and, play well in top 10 feels really good.
Back on the Web.com Tour, Dundas, Ontario's Mackenzie Hughes had a week to remember in Missouri. He won the Price Cutter Charity Championship by a shot, thanks to an approach within inches of the cup on the 72nd hole.
I haven't really sat down and set aside my goals for the PGA Tour season yet, but I'd like to put myself in contention, have a chance to win a couple times, and for sure keep my card and have a full slate next year. But for the most part, it's just staying healthy, getting rest, and doing the same things I've been doing.
The 25-year-old then wasted little time getting his rookie PGA Tour campaign off on the right foot, as he tied for 13th in the season-opening Safeway Open last week. While the young gun Dutoit was the story of the men's Canadian Open, it was veteran Elena Sharp who starred in that role at the CP Women's Open in Calgary. After some trying times over the years, the rejuvenated 35-year-old enjoyed her best season ever. It was capped by a career-best solo 4th showing at Prentice Greens Golf and Country Club.
I can't really describe how great it feels to play this well in Canada, because I have not played well at the Canadian Open in recent years, and to come back here and miss the cut last time and then really dominate and kind of take a little bit back from the course that it took for me in 2009 and be here in front of the hometown crowd, it's amazing. There's no better feeling to have.
Shortly thereafter, the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada wrapped up its season, with Vancouver's Adam Cornelsen finishing 4th on the Order of Merit to earn a 2017 Web.com Tour card. Cornelsen finished high up on the money list thanks to a victory in Victoria in early June. It represented a big turnaround, as Cornelsen was close to leaving the game in the winter after he'd lost his full playing privileges on the domestic circuit. Lastly, and not to be forgotten given his consistency, is Listowel, Ontario's Corey Connors. Spending most of his time competing on PGA Tour Latino America after winning one of that circuit's qualifying schools, the second-year pro had a pile of top 10s down south to sit among the top 5 on that circuit's money list heading towards the season's end in December. Should he maintain that spot, he'll join Cornelsen as a Web.com Tour rookie in 2017, where he'll be another step closer to joining the PGA Tour. From Fritsch to Hughes to, of course, the major winner Henderson, 2016 was indeed a solid year for our Canadian touring pros.